Hey, shalom, shalom, everybody. I hope you're fine wherever you are today. Now, this white woman asked a question. Um, I don't know whether it's genuine, but yeah, she asked this question to black women. What can we do to make you feel safe? This has left a lot of people with mixed reaction, especially black people, as some of them see this as, a main character syndrome, trying to revert the narrative to make you look as a savior. Whereas black women have been trying to talk about this, I've been trying to say about this for the longest time. And it might be true that this might be coming from a genuine heart, but how it was received by different people, the reception of this question was not well. Bearing the fact that just 2 days ago, black women had came out with, trying to express themselves of how they feel about black women and generally people. And black women have played a pivotal role in ensuring like everything is fine within the people, and also anonymously tried to talk to black men to support them in their dreams in everything. And now like the world is saying to it that it is just like a black woman who has lost and not like everyone. The fight of a black woman is a fight of a black man. It's a fight of a black, like everybody, right? And people add different sentiments in regards to this that I want us to, have a look about it. In this episode, really, I didn't have a lot to say, but it is like just like the backlash that she's getting from asking this question. Indeed, this shows that people are tired, and black women are saying that please just leave us alone. We did our part, and now people who look like you, or some people who look like us, decided to betray us, and now they are leaving people to the fate of what the US asked for them. Hey, I want you to watch this video. I'll be back, and honestly, I don't have much to say, but just to hear your opinions in regards to this. Do you feel like this came from a genuine heart, or do you think this was the main character syndrome? I hope you enjoy the video. I'll be back.
I have a genuine question for black women specifically. So if you're not a black woman or a woman of color, please don't comment on this video. Maybe look at the comments if this video gets any traction, but I really only want to be hearing from black women and women of color, because I've seen a lot about the blue bracelets on this app, and I think we're all in agreement that it's very performative and it isn't actually something that is for black women. It signifies to us, women who look like me, that we voted blue. But what I really want to know is, black women, what makes you feel safe when we're in shared spaces? What can I do, and those in my circles do, to make you feel seen and heard and safe when we are in shared spaces? As black women, what makes you feel safe when we're in shared space?
Nothing. So that bitch, ooh, step up in this bitch, I look too fly. Cop the D, your shit on it,
I have a genuine question for black women specifically. So if you're not
Fuck out of here.
So if you're not a black woman or a woman of color, please don't.
Can you do me a favor? Can you be the last white woman asking stupid questions of women of color on the internet? Yeah, that'd be great. Because I'm pretty sure if you had been listening, educating yourself, and putting yourself in places to get involved, you wouldn't be asking dumb questions like that on the internet. And as a fellow white person, it is my place to put you in your place. Take the due diligence, listen and educate.
Safe when we're in shared spaces. What can I do?
I cannot believe that in 2024, almost 2025, while there are at least 3 fucking genocides happening in the world that we're seeing being broadcasted here on our phones, we still have fucking white women asking women of color, specifically black women, to educate them for free. You don't read the books that we write, you don't listen to us, you don't watch the news, you just like ignore the literally cries of help of Palestinian women. Can't you at least read the fucking room? Seriously? We need to have a comment about how much harm that book, the White Fragility book, has caused, because that book, which by the way was written by this white woman who I will not say her name, she took a term that was coined by the African American community and decided to profit from it, and now you guys just took it as an excuse to be demanding free labor. White people has had hundreds of years to figure this out, and you still come to the internet demanding from us to hold your hand and keep doing more free educational labor. I'm so tired of the fucking audacity, seriously.
Hey girl, hey. I'm just trying to figure out where y'all be finding time to ask us questions. Why y'all always questioning us? Why y'all can't ask questions to y'all fellow perm-colored YT people? I'm just trying to figure it out. Why is there always a question? We don't want to answer y'all questions. We don't got no answers. I don't know. It's nothing. Because this is annoying. Like, I'm sick of the questions. Like, by virtue of you being in this space, I am not safe. If there is a white woman in the space, I am not safe. Like, aside from like maybe 3 white women that I can count, I don't feel safe when white women are in this space. And like, one of those is my best friend, who I met when she was 19 and I was 22. We've been friends for 17 years. So that's why I feel safe with her. But even then, by virtue of her being a white woman in a space with me, other people can weaponize her whiteness against me. Like, she would fight like hell for it not to happen, but like, that is a possibility. That's a reality. We don't feel safe in spaces with you, and we never will as long as white supremacy and patriarchy exists, because of where white women position themselves in white supremacy and patriarchy. And just another thing really quickly, you started this off talking about black women specifically, you repeat black women specifically, you ask black women, but you also do this thing where you say black women and women of color at some point. Maybe step 1 is learn the difference. And maybe in 17 years, you'll be safe for a black woman in your life.
Wanting to comment on this. If I'm being honest, I don't think there's much that's going to make us ever feel safe. But what you could do is start off with what you do in private spaces. For example, when you're in a private space with your counterparts, it would be helpful for you to be anti-racist, right? I need you to be anti-racist when you're with your counterparts. What that means is when your counterparts say something that is any sort of racist, like these jokes that are said, things where you may even question, should you be saying that? Racist stereotypes, you should be correcting that. If you really care about women and men and children, that's where you need to start. You need to start there. You need to start in those spaces where you feel comfortable, and you need to be anti-racism. That's where you start. And then once we see actual action, that's where it starts. It starts with action. Once we start seeing the action, then maybe we can start feeling comfortable with waving hello to you from across the street. But this blue bracelet, it doesn't feel safe. This blue bracelet is you asking me to forget about what my counterparts did and said and continue to do, because I have this blue bracelet and it is not me. So what are you doing in your private spaces? What do you say to your friends and your family, or their friends and family? What do you say to them when they're going against everything we need to continue to push forward? What do you do? What are you doing?
So to answer the creator's question that I just stitched, is there really is no way to make yourself safe for Black women. Women within the demographic, the women that look like her, have never been a safe space truly within history for Black people, especially Black women. And it's heartbreaking. It truly is. And I'm going to give an example as to why it is such. First off, the things like the blue bracelet stuff is very performative. You can put that on par with the I have a Black friend type of rhetoric. It's disingenuous. It doesn't, like, it's like, okay, cool, I don't care. It's just like you're trying to put on a show for folks to see that you're one of the good ones. But an example I can give to explain to you why Black women don't feel safe in the presence of women is, imagine you have a jar of like 100 or so M&Ms, and the person that hands you the jar tells you, yeah, you can eat these, but in that jar there's 10 M&Ms that are poisonous. So now you're sitting back and looking at this jar like, do I take the risk and eat an M&M from this jar, and I could have a sweet treat, or I could potentially unalive myself? Which risk are you taking? What chance are you taking? Everyone's going to just opt out from eating the M&Ms, because even with such low percentage of odds being against you, it's not worth the risk factor, right? And that's the same thing when it comes to women and interacting with Black women. There is potential to have a healthy, loving relationship, a beautiful friendship, right? But due to the chances of how and history being burned and hurt, there is always going to be a fear when in a space with those women. So many will avoid the potential risk. And yes, does that stink? You don't want that. But then it just goes into understanding that what you're feeling, that cognitive dissonance, that icky feeling is what Black women go through regularly. Having to constantly prove themselves of their worth, having to be 10 times better. And even then, having all of the qualifications, all of the credentials, still does not make you good enough in the eyes of certain individuals. So no, you're not always going to be a safe space for Black women. There is nothing you can do, because there's those 10 M&Ms in that jar that could potentially hurt us. And so sometimes it's just better to take the safe way out. That doesn't mean that I'm saying that you shouldn't befriend people of all demographics. I don't think that we can thrive as a society by isolation from each other, right? In general, like, Interdependence is very important for our society to thrive. People within this country are too selfish, and that's why the results occurred the way that they did. But you can't really be shocked by the fact that there are Black women who don't want to interact with women because the cons outweigh majority of the pros. This video is a lot longer than I thought that it was going to end up being, but I just kind of want to close it off with, don't get roped into this cycle of using like baseless comparisons to try and ally yourself with the Black woman and her experience. Sit back and think to yourself, have I behaved in a way that's truly a safe space for a Black woman? Have I been over performative? Saying things like, I understand how difficult this may be because for example, I'm a plus size woman, does not compare to the lived experience of a Black woman. You can always lose weight as a plus size woman, but at the end of the day, I'm still always going to be Black, and I can't change that. So just listen to those around you who come from different groups. The cognitive dissonance that you feel, that is just a normal human emotion. It's fine. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to make certain mistakes. But you have to acknowledge it, and you don't need to put on a show to prove that you're one of the good ones. Even if the people around you don't trust you as one of the good ones, you should always just still move through life knowing that you're doing good by marginalized communities. Simple as that.
Good morning. You can go back and look at the whole video, but what she's pretty much saying is she understands as a white woman that the bracelet is probably meaningless to Black women. And what could she do, or what could white women do to, I guess, be in solidarity with Black women? What I find amazing about this question is it's giving, I voted for President Kamala Harris for Black women. Why you feel you need to let me know that you were on my side when you should have been voting for her because you liked her or she was on your side? Why you feel you owe us something is mind-boggling. But here's to answer your question. All I can do is give you an example or an analogy. As Black people as a whole, we can see one of our sisters out here doing something god-awful. We can see one of our brothers out here doing something god-awful. And 9 times out of every 10, us as Black people are going to say, my people. The good or the bad is what I'm saying. You don't get to, okay, I can distance myself as a white woman now because I didn't vote the way most white women vote. You don't get to do that. 3, leave us out of it. This ain't got nothing to do with, if you feel a certain kind of way, you feel a certain kind of way. And you should. You should. So who you need to address is them. When we have a problem with our own, we address our own. You have never in your life heard a Black person say, what can I do so you know I'm not a ghetto Black person? What can I do to show you that I'm not a poor Black person? What can I do to show you that I am not a racist Black, or I can't even be racist, but a prejudice or person against white people? You've never heard that or said that, because you know why? We understand that you already put me in a category. I am a 50-year-old woman, black woman, so I'm automatically angry. Everywhere I go, anywhere I go. I don't care how big I smile. I can smile every day, all day, never ever at work, being as happy-go-lucky. The day I show that I disagree, I'm not even angry. I'm considered an angry black woman. And you'll never hear a black woman say, well, what can I do so you won't think I'm an angry black woman? And this is not a dig towards you. This is me asking you just to wake up to what you're saying. Y'all got to put your big girl panties on and deal with this. Because truth be told, you asking me what you need to do is still depending on me. And we done told you. We good. Y'all stay up.
Speaking for myself as a black woman, there's never been an expectation for a white woman to make me feel safe. You guys are not usually safe spaces, and you're asking what could you do. Y'all would have to do the work. Y'all would have to do the work. Y'all would have to y'all would have to do the work, okay? Y'all, your sons is buck wild, your men's is buck wild. Y'all would have to clean up your own house before you worry about how we feel in any space. In any space.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're fine wherever you are today. Now, I'm glad that black men are standing with black women, and they're saying that, you know what, we are tired. We are tired, and please just leave us alone. Because now everyone is putting their face to black people. This is the point, just to make them leave them alone. People are asking these people, please leave us alone. Because everybody now is asking black people, what's next? What can we do? What can we help you? They don't want these questions. They don't want to answer these questions. And now they're asking for them to be left alone. Now, people had different opinion in regards to this. Somebody is saying, in my opinion, as an African American woman, there is absolutely nothing we can do as a whole to make women feel safe, because you know what happened. Why? Somebody's also said, why would a black woman go to a Caucasian woman and tell her what she's thinking? You kidding me? Black women go to another black woman if you want to talk. Somebody's saying that this is a double-edged sword. Most of us want to be left alone, myself included. We've voted for the rights of everyone, and a lot of white women voted against all of our rights. That is the ultimate slap in the face. Somebody saying that what's upsetting is that black people answered her, should have heard her completely. No is a no. Somebody also saying that you can't do shit for us. Keep it moving. We not with that party. Leave us alone. Black women and black men are only about our business. We can't help you. Yeah, there's something that I'm noticing, and it's true. If you find a white woman who tends to be liberal, you tend to realize that there is an agenda that they're supporting. Because when it comes to systemic issues, they know that they are covered. It's not the same as a black woman. A black woman, when they voted blue, they voted for women's rights, like generally. They didn't have like any agenda past that. All they ever wanted is for the goodness, is for the sake of the general good, and to fight, and to just from fear of fascism or what is yet to happen. And as you can see, it's already happening. It's true, because them peoples are showing them clothes, like they are showing their true colors and how they feel about all this and how they take about all this. So for me, I think that few white women have the true agenda towards pushing for the rights of everybody, pushing for the rights of people, you know. Somebody say that, girl, you better go and ask God and get up out of our faces. From now on, take your asses to God. He now speaks for black women and our representative. Hallelujah. Somebody saying, even the simple act of coming to us after election is problematic. Always shouldering the responsibility of teaching on us, even when we're tired. Never going to a white women, men, family members, asking them how they'll move forward. Why? Because they seem to be afraid to ever hold their own people accountable. Somebody is saying that she's young, she needs to research, but they are hiding the books. Makes sense. Somebody's also saying, you know what you can do to help? Raise money for those who want to relocate and never come back. Put your money up. I'll go back to the person who said that she's young, she needs research, but they are hiding the books. It's true. There is so many part of history that has been hidden or don't want to be shown, because you realize that this is something that has been happening. The racism, the fascism towards black men and women, this is something that's been happening. And history is yet just to be exposed. People are just yet to know the truth, right? Now, it is that some of teachers, lecturers, historians don't want to share this is because they fear losing their job. And this is part of history that you need to know, or this is part of history that you ought to know. It's an important aspect of history that everybody needs to know. How black women were being treated, how black men were being treated. Really, really important part of history. I'm going to be talking about somebody else also opinion in regards to this. Somebody said that I'm 61-year-old born and raised in America. My ancestors date back to the 16th century. I will never feel safe in your space. If they really want to know how to make us happy, leave us alone. That could be the best thing that ever done for us. Because yeah, history will judge. Why do you right now want to care, while in the past, people who look like you never cared? White women owned black women as their slaves. They owned black women as materials to breed, right? And just to propel the slavery from going on, this is something that happened. Somebody saying that it's too little, too late for them asking and this, and they know only seem calm so much now is cause they are scared and somehow want black women to lead in their being savior. Well, it's not happening. Black have been trying to tell them and trying to save them and ourselves by them continuing to fail miserably so many times, and this time they're gonna have to save themselves. Somebody also say that, okay, I'm an Asian woman, but what the fuck? This girl probably had good intentions, but what a classic case of should have thought it before blabbling about it. It's performative, and I don't think she even realizes it. Makes sense. It's about the intentions. It's a one-sided relationship at this point. We've told white people time and time again what the issues were, and they have all collectively ignored what we've said. This is the last comment that I'm going to be reading. Sisters, please stop responding to these evil trolls. Just respond. Blackout. Stop giving them audience and validation. That's the last thing that I would like to. Those are people's opinion that I shared with you. You, the person watching me, how do you feel about all this? I want to know. These are presented Gene Tech Stories. Let's meet on my next video. Until then, peace, love, and harmony.